If you're looking for a sturdy, capable, agile, and economical motorcycle that's great for riding in the city, maybe the Yamaha Factor is a good option for you. And this is the only video you need to watch to learn everything about the new Factor DX. Technical features, performance in the city, on the road, fuel consumption, insurance costs, and of course my honest opinion with the pros and cons so you can make the best purchase decision. Music. If you're new here, I'm Amanda Pagliari, and this is the most charming motorcycle channel in Brazil, which also brings you the most complete two-wheel reviews. So go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. Music. The Factor got some changes in 2024 and now comes in two versions, the entry-level Factor and this DX version here. But what are the differences between the Factor and the Factor DX? The Factor 150DX comes with an aluminum grab handle, a black engine, daytime running lights, and also colored wheels. In practice, the DX is more focused on visual appeal for those who like style. In terms of design, we have a compact street bike, and here on the tank it's metal, right? However, these fins here are made of plastic to give it more robustness here. We also have the spoiler here at the bottom to give it a better finish. One thing I like about this motorcycle is that it has an all-black look here, including the handlebar, the mirror stem, and also the exhaust in black with the cover here in plastic as well. And in this black version, the wheels are a really nice gold color, 18-inch rims on both wheels, and they use tubeless tires from the brand Michelin Pilot Street. The headlight is LED, and we have, look, this side position light here that gives it an even bolder look. For the headlight to work, right, we have to start the motorcycle, then the headlight turns on, but the position light stays on here at all times. Just a detail, the turn signals and tail light unfortunately are halogen bulbs. It has a center stand, but it doesn't come from the factory. You need to get the Pack Plus, which are two accessories you can buy directly at the dealership, the center stand, right? And here there are also two outlets, one USB and the other USB-C. It doesn't come with a trunk support here, but if you want to put a trunk on your Factor, my tip is to get the Scam Alloy luggage rack, which is very high quality, durable, and matches your Factor. In addition, they have an engine and fairing guard, plate reinforcement, fixed riser, hand guard, and also a center stand. And several options for top trunks, from aluminum trunks to the keyless line, which can even fit two helmets, as well as the Econo line trunks. It's really worth it to equip and protect your motorcycle with Scam accessories. To check out the full line for your motorcycle or scooter, just click the link in the description or point your phone's camera at the QR code on the screen. I'll put the link in the description so you can check it out, along with some Factor products tagged in the video. The Factor's seat is a single-piece, two-level type, higher here for the passenger and with a lumbar support here for the rider. It actually has comfortable padding. I'll get on so you can see. The seat is 78.5 centimeters high. Of course, the bike is on the center stand, but even so, I can easily put both feet on the ground. I'm 1.77 meters tall, but overall it's a low motorcycle. Riding position. The foot pegs are centered here, so you have a comfortable riding position. And the tank shape here is really good because it gives you more stability to really grip the bike and have better control. So here it has a good steering angle, which makes it agile, especially for riding in the city, and both the rider and passenger foot pegs have a rubberized finish. Overall, it's a light, compact motorcycle, very easy to ride, and it weighs 133 kilos in total net weight. That's already considering the fluids and the fuel tank, which has a capacity of 15.4 liters for gasoline or ethanol, since it's a flex fuel motorcycle. The engine is the same as the previous generation, so we have an air-cooled single-cylinder 149cc engine. However, unfortunately, due to emission regulations, the engine ended up losing a little bit of horsepower. It went from 12.4 horsepower to 11.8 on gasoline, and remember that it's a little bit more on ethanol. The torque is 1.3 kilogram force meters at 6,000 RPM, and the engine has 5 gears. For the brakes, we have a disc in the front and a mechanical drum in the rear, and it comes with the UBS system. How does this system work? When you brake using only the rear brake, it also distributes the braking power to the front wheel, okay? So there's a percentage there. When you brake with the front brake, then yes, 100% of the braking stays on the front, but that's not the case with the rear. It puts a bit of load on the front, and that's the rule, okay? If you don't know the difference between ABS, CBS, and UBS, I made a quick video explaining it for you. I'll leave the link to that video in the description and also in the card. For the suspension in the front, we have a conventional telescopic fork with 120 mm of travel, and in the rear, we have a swing arm and 2 springs with preload adjustment. The dashboard is fully digital and provides a lot of information. Up here we have the tachometer, the fuel gauge on the left side. This guide here is the gear indicator, the speedometer, and here we have the onboard computer information, okay? It's on trip 1, then we press the button on the dashboard and we change the information to trip 2 so we can reset the trip meters, right? Here we have the clock, and here, look, the total odometer. There you go. We don't have the average consumption information, right? Consumption per trip or even the battery voltage information. Look, I'm going to reset it here so you can see. These are the pieces of information that are displayed, right? When you're riding economically, it shows eco down here. And on the outside here, we have some indicator lights like the service light, also the high beam indicator, and the turn signals. When you activate them, they appear on the panel. On the control buttons, here on the left side, we have the horn, left and right turn signals, headlight, high beam, right? And back here, the flasher. And here on the right side, the ignition button. Now that I've shown you everything about the new Yamaha Factor DX, it's time to ride through the streets of São Paulo and also hit the road. But before that, if you're enjoying this video and finding it really complete, how about leaving a like, huh? It helps and motivates me to make more videos like this. Now, let's go. Here in the city, the Factor shines. It's a light, easy-to-ride motorcycle. And for its engine, right, for what it's meant for, the engine is enough. Yeah, the brakes, well, the brakes leave a little to be desired, right? The front brake, it's a disc brake, but it's a little spongy and it has the UBS system, right? Which also brakes, but what bothers me the most here, without a doubt, is the mechanical drum in the back, right? The drum brake should be gone from the face of the earth, right? That's my opinion. But look, it's handling. Wow, this bike is really fun to ride. You can ride here without getting tired. That's really nice. You can ride around here. Who is this motorcycle recommended for? First, for those who are starting out in the world of 2 wheels, yes, you can start here with the Factor 150, okay? It doesn't matter if it's the DX or the regular one, right? Because it's the same engine, okay? The same handling. What really changes is the look. So you can start with it for those of you who are getting your license now. It's also recommended for those who are going to work as a delivery rider, courier, delivery person, or motorcycle taxi driver. And if you're going to use the bike for work, why? Because it's economical, it's light and agile. So it's an urban motorcycle, tough, but the main thing is the fuel efficiency, right? So it's a motorcycle that doesn't tire you out, a motorcycle that won't just sit here overheating, right? It won't overheat, it won't get in your way. So you can ride it here in traffic without any problems and with the idea that you can make money with it because it's economical, right? So the less you spend on maintenance, gas, those things, the more money you'll have left for yourself. So yes, you can work with it. And for that person who's looking for a vehicle to escape traffic, right? To get away from traffic easily without worrying too much, you just accelerate and that's it. It's here in the city where the Factor shines. So, you have an extremely agile, lightweight motorcycle. Look how easily it changes direction. This little bike handles really well. It's a motorcycle that doesn't tire you out. You can spend the whole day riding it and it won't give you any trouble. So you can change direction. A motorcycle that's great for everyday use, for the city, for traffic. It's in heavy traffic that it really stands out, right? So if you're looking for a motorcycle to ride in traffic like this, look, this motorcycle here will definitely meet your needs. I'm about to ride on the highway so we can check out the top speed and see how it performs. But, you know, it's an urban motorcycle, so its purpose is really for you to ride here in the city. It has 5 gears. The engine vibrates as usual for a single cylinder, but I'll tell you about its behavior on the highway in a bit. But as you saw, it does really well. Now, enough riding here in the city. I think its natural habitat is really good. It's approved for city riding. And now let's hit the road to see how it performs. The guys already went ahead. Look. Here on the road, poor Factor struggles a little. It's slow and steady, see? If I push a little here in 4th gear to speed up, poor thing, it just won't go. Unfortunately, there are only 5 gears, right? Now, going uphill, she's struggling a little. Yeah, it's an urban motorcycle, guys, for you to ride in the city. It's not for you to ride on the highway. Let's go. I know there are a lot of people who end up taking it on the highway, living in one city and working in another, but you have to keep in mind that it's mainly meant for city use. Here on the highway, don't expect great performance from it. It's an urban motorcycle, guys. Its cruising speed is 100 kilometers per hour without a passenger, without much weight. So, yeah. It's that slow and steady pace. Slow and steady, I'm finding it comfortable overall. Even speeding everything up, look, 122. It seems like it got stuck at 122, right? Look, 123. Yeah, guys, 24. Oh my God, now it's time to give it some gas. It's all about the struggle, you know? Look, now that it's on the straight, it's already dropped, see? 121, 120, 119. Yeah, guys, there's no way around it. If you catch it downhill, the descent is endless. That's when you really get high speeds. On the straight, which is what matters, it goes up just a little, it's got momentum, but as soon as you hit a little uphill, the speed starts dropping again, okay? So unfortunately, at 111, don't expect any great performance, okay? It's weak here on the road. On the other hand, I didn't feel it struggling, you know? Of course, it's gonna strain, right? But like, at no point did I feel it was unsafe or struggling. So it's light, we know that, right? But for the speed it reached, it was steady. That's really good, even with the trucks. But that's it, guys. It's not a bike for the highway, okay? Now let's wrap up the video with the pros and cons. About the fuel consumption, it's economical, but of course it really depends on how you ride. The more you accelerate, the more it's going to consume. There's no way around it. And for me, with an average of city and highway riding, trying to reach top speed, it got a fuel consumption of 40 kilometers per liter. But there are people who even get over 46. Is that your case? Write down here below what fuel consumption you get with the Factor. I believe it's less targeted than the CG. However, my tip is to get insurance, okay? It doesn't matter if you have a scooter or a big trail. The criminals aren't sparing anything. And I got a quote here on the Protect Me Brokers website, which has the cheapest insurance in Brazil. They've been a partner of the channel for many years, and hundreds of followers have already paid less for insurance using Amandia's link in the QR code. Here's a quote for a 41-year-old man using the Mogi das Cruzes zip code where I live. Several insurance company options appeared. And here's the price, see? It's cheaper, you guys. Theft and robbery coverage so you can relax, sleep well, and rest your head on your pillow. If you ever get robbed or your car gets stolen, you won't be at a loss. Many people finance their motorcycles and are still paying them off. So what happens then? The payment booklet won't go away just because your bike was stolen. Sadly, you'll still have to pay for both vehicles. That's why having insurance for peace of mind is worth it, right? It's essential, especially in Brazil. And look at this, getting a quote here for a 41-year-old man in Mogi das Cruzes, it came out to 495 reais, 495.29 as the annual amount, guys. It dropped from over 600 reais to 400 reais with Amanda Pagliari's coupon via the link or QR code. So you get full 5P compensation and towing, plus 24-hour assistance, which is great. Amanda, I want more comprehensive insurance, so I chose Porto Seguro, a well-known company. And here you have, besides 100% FIP, right, for theft and robbery, partial collision, vehicle repair. And you also have property and bodily damage coverage for third parties and 300 km assistance here. Very good. And the amount is 1,895 reais and 67 cents. Our dollar 1,895 and 67 hundredths already with my discount. For you to get the discount, just click the link in the description, point your phone's camera at the QR code on the screen, and that's it. You can do everything on your phone or computer, including even the inspection at Protec. It's really worth it. Why do they have the cheapest insurance in Brazil? Because they're 100% digital. They use artificial intelligence, have fewer employees, lower expenses, and that's how they can give you such a big discount. Don't waste time, right? With Protec, it's really easy. Click, get a quote, done. Now I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of Factor DX. And remember, I'm not the owner of the truth. You can agree or disagree or even add your own thoughts in the comments in a respectful way. But first you need to subscribe to the Motoplay channel. Well guys, starting with the positive points, I think the DX design, right? So Yamaha wanted to bring a little more differentiation to its entry-level motorcycle. So those who want more savings when buying the motorcycle go for the Factor. And those who want a little more differentiation, who have more style, go for the DX. At least there's an option. So I liked its design with the painted wheels. That's a positive point. The handling of this motorcycle is surprising. So another positive point, it's very agile. So that's another good thing. Agility, you can ride around the city very easily. Another positive point is the robust engine, which doesn't give you any trouble. This engine, okay, a lot of people might say, wow, it's an old engine, but it's an engine that's been on the market for many years. So you can be confident that you won't have any kind of problem. I liked it here with this black finish, right? It looks really cool. So a positive point for being a robust engine. Another thing is the fuel efficiency, right? So the fuel economy is a positive point. That's something really nice. And adding that to its fuel tank, which has a capacity of over 15 liters, you get an average range of more than 600 kilometers. So that's a positive point because you don't have to keep stopping all the time to refuel the bike. Another good thing is how easy it is to ride. So that's a positive point. It is comfortable, yes. So I found not only the seat here, but also the riding position to be very comfortable. You can spend hours and hours riding it. And the last positive point, but not least, is that it comes with fixed price maintenance. So you already know before you even buy it how much you'll spend on maintenance. Now the negative points, starting with the drum brake in the rear. I always say drum brakes should be abolished from the face of the earth. Disc brakes are much safer. So that's a negative point. Another negative point, at least for me, is the noise of the turn signals, okay? So if you can turn it off, that's fine, and if you can live with it, that's fine too. But it does get on my nerves a little, you know? I don't really like it, so that's a negative point for that. Another negative point is that the side stand, the kickstand, doesn't cut off the engine. So look at this. It's in first gear, look. It moves with the side stand engaged. Why is this in practice a negative point? Because imagine you take off with the motorcycle and forget to lift the kickstand. What will happen? An accident could happen. So that's a negative point. Another negative point is that it doesn't come with any kind of power outlet from the factory. In other words, if you want to add one, you'll have to buy it at the dealership. I don't even know if installing an aftermarket one would void the warranty or not, right? But at least I recommend you buy the pack, right? Which already comes with the center stand and also the 2 outlets. It could come as standard, but since it doesn't, that's a negative point. Negative. Another negative point is that unfortunately the engine lost horsepower. We always want motorcycles to increase their horsepower, increase their power, and in the case of the Factor, poor thing, it lost horsepower. So that's a negative point. And the last one, right? It's not even a negative point. It's just a characteristic of the motorcycle since it's urban for city riding, filtering through traffic and getting around quickly. It's not designed for highway use, but many people live in one city, work in another, and need to use the highway out of necessity. So I need to tell you that the downside is that it's weak on the highway. And especially if you're going to carry a passenger, it might become a struggle on the highway, so that's not what it's made for. And since it even lost some horsepower, it got even weaker. So if you're going to take the highway often, maybe you should start thinking about an FZ25 or something above that. And it's available with a suggested retail price starting at 18,990 Rs or 19,490 Rs if you choose the Pack Plus, which comes with a power outlet and a center stand. And if you want to buy your Factor or any other Yamaha motorcycle, my tip is to stop by one of Naka's stores. Why? First, because they have the best Yamaha customer service in the country. So you go there, talk to the salesperson, have some coffee and negotiate your motorcycle. And second, because that's where deals get done. They accept your used motorcycle of any brand as part of the payment, offer easy financing, consortium financing, and much more. Don't close your Yamaha deal before checking with Naka. Use the link in the description, the on-screen phone number, or scan this QR code. So that's it. If you liked the video, leave a like, share it with your friends, WhatsApp groups, Facebook. I'm sure they'll want to hear about this video. So are you on Team CG or Team Factor? Write it down below. Up here, I linked a video about its competitor, the new CG 50 years, which also has a unique design. And down here, I left a really cool video that I'm sure you'll enjoy watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's free and it helps me a lot. And if you want to contribute even more, become a member to get exclusive benefits like early access, exclusive videos, giveaways, and much more. See you next time. Big kiss from Moto Alto.